Do you want to carry on, boys? Do you want to carry on? It was really lively. It was really lively in backstage for about 10 minutes. And it wasn't the AFCON. Nobody was walking off stream. But maybe we'll tell a story one day. But welcome to BNR. Welcome to another episode of Fourever Reds podcast. And here we are. Liverpool won, Burnley won. We've had 24 hours to think about it, mull over it, think about it. And probably maybe think differently, but I'm really happy to welcome home, not just on here, but welcome home Avi to Slough, different backgrounds, different surroundings, and a lot colder. But Ben and Jean, as ever, are in the house. I'll come straight to you, Avi. Jet lag, hopefully shaken off, but Liverpool are still struggling with a lot of jet lag.
Yeah, I saw bits of the emergency stream today in the morning when I woke up. I had a bit of a lad's night yesterday at the household. Surprised to see, not surprised, but look, I think Ben was trying to put it as eloquent as he can that it is time for a change. And yesterday's result, Asim, you can't be drawing those. You can't be, effectively, it just felt like a loss, didn't it? And the results, look, people will say that, we've been on this so-called unbeaten run. But in that unbeaten run of the 11, 12 games, most games have feeling like a defeat, And I think the club has to make a decision. I know Gene was saying for weeks on end, February, but something has to give us, and because, we can't be letting these opportunities slip. You see United yesterday dispose of Man City. It could have been a 5-6-0. They've all of a sudden starting to play football, and they outplayed City yesterday. Chelsea looks as if they've got this manager bounce as well. And Arnie looks devoid of ideas, Asim. I don't think he can turn this round. I was saying, look, just give it to the end of the season if you're going to make change, but it could come sooner rather than later. I think obviously Xabi departing Madrid has maybe forced the hierarchy's hands, missing out on Semenyo, missing out on Gehi. It seems as though there's a lot of disturbance at the club, and no player in their right mind really would jump ship to Liverpool at the moment with so much uncertainty. And that's what's going to be happening. We've been used to this as well, pre-Klopp, the uncertainty, whether it was Rodgers in charge, Hodgson, Kane Dalglish, second time round. We've seen uncertainty, and we won't attract the best players when there's so much disharmony. And there seems to be a big fan disengagement as well towards the manager, towards his team at the moment. And he just can't seem to get a tune. As in the first 45 minutes yesterday, yes, I thought terrific. Close out the game. Sober misses the penalty, but we had enough chances to win yesterday. But again, no excuses. I think the end is near.
The end is near. Ben, we got the Ben Bomber yesterday, if I may call it. How are you feeling after 24 hours after the game? Still the same? I'm not talking about directly about your Bomber, but just your general thoughts about the manager and Liverpool as a whole.
Yeah, pretty much the same, to be honest, Asim. I haven't really, I haven't gone backwards in me thought process. If anything, I've, just with the talk today, some articles dropping from various journos about discord within the ranks and uncertainty within the ranks, but then at the same time saying stuff like that the owners aren't going to make a snap decision. So there's definitely a lot of confusion out there. The fact that Joycey just dropped in an article this afternoon where he mentioned that the current manager and the two director of footballs both have 18 months left on their contract is quite significant, I think, all of a sudden to bring that up. And I do think that there is going to be some serious change in the next 6 to 12 months, both off the pitch and on the pitch. And yeah, after what I saw with my own eyes in the ground yesterday, in hindsight, we said we created a lot of chances. We did more than enough to win. We should have won. But in the context of the current scenario and the context of the current run, even though it's an unbeaten run, it just adds fuel to the fire that this is not the direction of travel that we want to go in. And with the fact that Xabi Alonso is now on the market, I am completely focused on us getting him. He is the one I want. And I hope the club do everything they can to bring him in.
Gene, I'll come to you. I'll come back to Ben as well. But Avi, give me your thoughts about the game yesterday, because I thought it was slightly better. It wasn't a Sunderland. It wasn't a Leeds. But we just keep doing the same thing, especially whether it's in the first half, second half. We have a 5-10 minute period where we look shit scared, and we just concede chances and we concede goals. Whether it's a set piece, whether it's an open play, we look passive. Someone makes a mistake, someone is asleep. We can't pass people on. We don't take responsibility, and that's exactly what happened in that period of 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, look, I thought the first 40 were good. I thought Kirkus was brilliant, making overlapping runs, actually bringing in some quality in his crosses. Wirtz was brilliant. Ekitike, the work that he did for the first goal, Jones, they were passing it around. There seemed to be a bit of intent behind the passes. Frimpong was a live wire on that right. We looked cohesively so much better attacking wise. Had plenty of chances. Gakpo was doing Gakpo things, which again left a lot to be desired. But yeah, 1-0 up. The penalty, obviously, you're expecting Szoboszlai to go bottom left. That's what he does. That's his customary penalty. God knows what he tried doing. Yes, he just tried to blast it, didn't he? Just put the ball behind just put full laces behind it. Made a mistake against Barnsley. And we'll come to Szoboszlai because I think me and you had a little bit of a disagreement, and we'll come to it. Ask him about Szoboszlai. And look, Marcus Edwards, who's he's a very nifty player. I saw him a little bit in Sporting Lisbon. Comes to the Premier League, he's got pace. I thought we could have done so much better for their goal. Konate was a bit distant, but I thought Alisson should have saved it, to be honest. I think he could have saved it. It wasn't a powerful shot. It wasn't right to the bottom corner. I thought Alisson could have done so much better, but Asim, that's no excuses. We had plenty of chances to win it, but it was the same old, isn't it? Again, a game which you've been mentioning, a game of fine margins. It's either going to go that way or this way. It's not good enough. Asim, it's not good enough. I thought after Arsenal away, we would have seen a lot more sort of, what do you call it? We would have been a little bit more relentless. We would have shown up for a lot more at Anfield, Burnley, home. These are the games that you've got to pick up points, knowing that United have got a new manager, knowing that Chelsea have got a new manager, who'll be on the bounce. These players obviously breathe confidence when the new managers come in. And they've had the reactions that they wanted. We just didn't get that. And it just seems turgid. It's tepid. And I don't know what they're waiting for. Either they won't come out with it, but either they'll wait till the end of the season and it's going to be the same old, or ask them they make a decision. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I am slow. I am, look, if the change needs to happen, and it should happen, I'm still leaning towards let it happen in the summer. I think Xabi Alonso coming now after the Madrid job coming in now, I'd rather give him a full summer, let him rest up a little bit and take over in the summer. But they won't make that decision. There's no way there'll be an agreement for that, because I think it's like in no man's land, doesn't it, for the next 3-4 months?
Abby, just to jump in on that one, I was very much on your wavelength, but then my thought process is, because are you not worried that the summer is going to be so short with the World Cup and with a shortened pre-season, that getting him in sooner rather than later gives him a chance to be able to bed his idea and style in while he's still got the full group?
I think Xabi Alonso, I think he'll admit to everyone, he might admit himself soon, that he may need a rest. He jumped from Leverkusen, the exploits there where he did a treble, going straight into the Madrid job. And I think the Madrid job was a bit heavy. I think he thought genuinely, and I think everyone did, he was going to succeed there. Given the big personalities as well, you'd think that he would be he'd be a huge success at Madrid. He's got all the players at his disposal, but they just never wanted to. They never believed in his thesis, his ethos on football. And I think he may want to break himself. I'm just giving you what I think that it might be. Yeah. He takes a break. And people saying World Cup, yeah, we've had new managers come in during World Cup years or Euro year. Rafa Benitez came in 2004 when we had the Euros, I believe. He came in that season. It wasn't great, but sometimes you just have to bide your time. I just don't see, and it's just opinion, I just don't see the club making a decision straight away. I think they should. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's similar.
Wait till the summer.
Sorry?
So do you want to go now or do you want him to go in the summer? You personally, you said I would wait until the summer.
Me
Go now.
personally, I would bring I would bring Xabi now. Me personally.
Okay,
I
that's
just don't see that happening.
Okay, that's all right. I can live with that. I thought you said that
Because he did take the Leverkusen job halfway through as well. Halfway through January, he came in, and they had a little bit of churn of fortunes. And that first full season is where he just obliterated the league, obliterated every cup competition in Germany. Unlucky not to win the Europa League. I just think the hierarchy won't pull the trigger tune. I just think they won't.
So lose to the if he was to lose the next game or two in a row, you think they're still going to stick with him?
If they lose the next three out of that,
few more booze, they're still going to stick with him.
Yeah, it's results driven without a shadow of a doubt. I think
it's not about the hierarchy can keep him. No, you'd lose 2 games. I'll want to see the hierarchy say, okay, stay. Go to Newcastle home, get beat at home, and there's more booze. Then play City away, lose that. City at home, lose that. And I'd like to say the hierarchy go, okay, we want you to stay. Chankla Mara, they're getting rid of him. It's now the booze have come out. Everybody now, if I'm honest, there's 90% of the fan base, and now they want him gone. Let's be honest. That on the weekend was, you probably still got 10% that probably want him to stay. 90% of the fan base, I think now are at that point where, you know what, it's time to go.
It feels like a ticking time bomb now, doesn't it?
It's a matter of time.
It's a result. It's just purely results.
Who have we got on the weekend?
Bournemouth away.
I think
they play
the
Brighton tomorrow night.
I think the trip to Velodrome on Wednesday, to Marseille away, and who's the other one? You said Bournemouth away on Saturday.
On the Saturday, yeah. Then carry a bag on the following Wednesday. And
just the next
Newcastle
2 games.
at Anfield.
Just the next 2 games. If he loses both, then maybe it could be curtains. But I just don't see Xabi coming in straight away. I think they might do this sort of interim where Gerrard maybe something like that till May, June. I just don't think Alonso. I think he might want a little bit of a break till the summer and then say, "Look, I'm here." And are we? Just a question to the panel: do we all think Alonso's the shoe-in then?
What do you mean shoe-in?
Is he the shoe-in? Do we all think that the
hierarchy is he the number 1 target? As in, is he the prime candidate?
Yeah.
Well, he's available, isn't he? Well, he's available.
Yeah,
and he's going to be free.
We said that last night, Avi. Would you rather? I don't know whether you caught it. Would you rather have Alonso now or wait and have whoever you want in the summer? And I'm all in on Alonso now or the summer. Personally, I think he's a perfect fit for Liverpool.
So there's 2. The Bayern space is saying Xabi wants a mental reset. There's one wild thing saying apparently Alonso has said he doesn't want a break. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I think Asim and Sheen are more in the camp of Enrique if it's possible.
I don't see Luis Enrique coming to Liverpool. I don't see it. Yeah, I think he fancies the Madrid job. Being an ex-player there, I think he fancies the Madrid job.
I don't think he goes back to Madrid. No chance. I think if anything, he goes to Barcelona. Why would he go back to Real Madrid? Go back to where you won everything. Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world. If anything, you'd want to go to Barcelona at the end.
I think Barca believe in Hansi Flick.
It's hard, you know. He's like a year out, come back. But for me, Enrique, look, there's no doubt he's the best manager in the world. That if you could get him, he's probably the one that you want. Out of everybody out there. But if Alonso comes now and he's the one that you know that's available, not that I wouldn't take him. Of course I would, but there is a question mark on Alonso now, and I've been quite vocal about that. It's not as a clear cut. It's not as, you know, bring in Alonso and you're going to start seeing fucking free flowing football. No, it is going to take time. He's going to have to adjust because his football isn't gegenpress or amazingly beautiful football that we're used to seeing, where it's fast paced stuff like that. It's not. We all know it's not. He plays good football, but from what I've seen, they're a good football team, but they weren't what we're used to.
Is it fair to say that's the case for anyone who comes in, that they'll need time?
No. But you know, but you know, you got to look at somebody's philosophy as well. And you play Enrique's philosophy is completely different. He wants to go and press like a no man's business, bro. That PSG team that I saw last year was the best team I'd seen play football for them 4 to 5 months since Barcelona. And that's not me being taking the piss here. Maybe Man City were close when they were on it and they were properly on it, but that PSG team, a different scale.
And that's what makes me scratch my head about that, because our number one prime world record signing, Alexander Isak, doesn't come across as a pressing machine from the front. And I know Dembele isn't, if we're being honest, but I feel as though our current squad isn't really set up to be.
It isn't set up for a new Enrique.
Dembele is a brilliant presser for me.
You reckon?
Yeah.
So, but then Isak's not, is he?
One of the best pressers in the world.
Guys,
Dembele's pressing last year. Toba. He's ready to press. He's in the before you pass the ball. He's ready to press.
No, he hunts you.
Okay, all right. I stand corrected there then, but Isak definitely isn't, is he? He's
Yeah.
Look, that PSG team just coming in on this last year were full of technicians, and they were structurally just brilliantly set up for the league and the Champions League, albeit they really got going after November last season. This season, they've had a few mixture of results. They haven't been brilliant. Kvaratskhelia has struggled this season. Dembele's numbers are down this season. Gonçalo Ramos is scoring a fair few goals. They aren't the PSG team of last season. Albeit the exploits of last season, a bit of tiredness. We saw in the Club World Cup final where they got outplayed by Maresca's Chelsea. It was going to always have a bit of an effect, but they're not as great as they were last season.
Well, let's not forget they arrived late last season.
Maybe after completing the treble and winning the European Cup has had an effect, but they're nowhere near the standards they were last season. They're still a good team. I mean, they should be walking the French league every season, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Is that unreasonable?
We would need 7+ players for a PSG style team.
You'll definitely not have Gakpo in this team.
PSG and Pulijo, in terms of their style of play, if we're honest, because we've bought players just now that don't fit that system, so it doesn't make any sense to say that we're going to play that sort of way.
Yeah, but we need 3-4 players, regardless, whoever it is.
We need a reset upon the reset.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I want to ask you, Avi. That's the first time Anfield. There's been a big wider debate. Wider debate about once you lose confidence in the manager, the online fans and this and that. We live our discussion on a daily basis is with people online. So we're part of that. We are part of that as BNR. But going to the ground and this and that, they're generally, it doesn't matter who it is. If you lose the crowd, your own crowd, especially at Anfield, the first time they booed yesterday, I thought it was a pivotal moment, and it wasn't just the boos. Obviously, you watched your show in the morning, Avi. I just felt that the fans just were pissed off from minute one. Ben was there as well, and because I haven't been, the last time I was at Anfield. I think it was Brighton at home this season, and yeah, we were playing shite, but we won that game. It wasn't as bad, but I just thought that the fans were prepared today, that they did not want to see this brand of football that they've been seeing in the last 4 or 5 weeks. They weren't accepting it. And the irony was that Liverpool was slightly better, just like I mentioned in my introduction. But your thoughts on the crowd booing and that restless nature amongst Anfield on the day?
So as you know, Asim, we don't get 3 p.m. kickoffs, unfortunately, in England. So I was on a dodgy I was on a dodgy stream and whatnot. I couldn't hear the boos at full time. Obviously, I was listening to Twitter. I spoke to you on the phone yesterday, and you said, "Yeah, look, it's the first time that I've realized." I think the big problem here is, and I was alluding to it in one of the groups like Keen and Mia in that Liverpool group. I said, Fergie knew that Fergie. I'm just talking about Fergie and United, and I'll go on to Jurgen. Fergie had that club from top to bottom. Jurgen Klopp, similarly, from 2015 when he took over, had Liverpool from top to bottom. And the first thing he made sure was he connected with the fans. Whether it was, people will say it could be cringy and cheesy, whatnot, with from doubters to believers, he automatically connected. And we saw that Spurs game, even though it was a draw at White Hart Lane, we knew what we were in for, and we were gonna. And he said, "Look, this ride is gonna be stormy, but believe you me, I will bring success." Slot has come in and it's been very professional, like, hasn't it? From the first interview through that first preseason to the title-winning run, it's always been a very business-like sort of performances from the manager. We haven't seen that engagement that we felt with Jurgen. It is a bit unfair because
Emotionless.
I don't think he's built for that personality, which is fine. Different cultures, different people. He may not have knows how to engage himself, but that's where Hughes and the hierarchy should have done a proper character personality. A real research into who Arnie is. Can Arnie see this period of 3-4 years out? What's he like at a bad period? And we alluded to it at Feyenoord, and even at his previous club, he didn't really have a sticky patch like he did the one that we've witnessed from September to November, where we lost 9 out of 12. Even that Arne, when he tried to say, listen, these my tribute to Jurgen full time against Spurs, Jurgen Klopp, it just didn't have the meaning. It didn't have that same potency when Jurgen was singing Arne Slot's song. So I think there's been a big disengagement there, and he hasn't helped himself. Some of the press conferences, some will say his treatment of youngsters, some sort of words against Ramsey the other day. People took offense to that. The Harvey Elliott sort of treatment.
You've been like coming out really strongly in defense of the manager for that.
In terms of like players that I know that have got no future, like Ramsey, I get it. Look, they're youngsters at 22, but people think that he should be given a chance. We're talking about a player who had failed loan spells, but albeit whether it was injuries and whatnot, he was at Kilmarnock, went back to Scotland, Preston North End, it didn't work out. How are you possibly expecting him to be a starter at right back for Liverpool, right? We'll come on to the transfers later, but I just think Arne Slot's character, I don't think it's built for long term to be a Liverpool manager. I think 2 years, won the league. Thank you so much.
So no more 18 months then.
If he sees 2 outs, he's done 24 months, hasn't he?
So no more 18 months.
No more 18 months. Look, if we're all being honest, Asim,
I'm only joking.
there needs to be change. Gene is saying, look, I can't. The next 3-4 games are pivotal. Maybe so. I just think this hierarchy, the attitude they've shown in this transfer window, tells me that they'll be patient enough to see this out till May.
Patience. Okay. I personally think it's a game-to-game basis now. That's how desperate this is, honestly.
But Asim, if it's okay, before you go, because you're going to go on this, Asim, if it's a game-to-game basis, then he's not the right man for the job.
I agree.
Then you can't turn this round. Then what are they waiting for?
I'm talking about how the hierarchy are going to react. They can put hit pieces out and put the dreaded vote of confidence in the manager amongst all the journals, all the mouthpieces. They can do what they want. But I'm trying to see it from the perspective of the hierarchy where they've lost Anfield now. So it doesn't matter how much you put out in the media that he's your man and they won't change mid-season because you don't know how hard they worked in getting this man and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's a results business and you've lost Anfield crowd and we lose Bournemouth, we lose City, we lose Newcastle. But it'll be taken out of your hands.
Yeah,
I don't
think
he'll get to that Newcastle game.
Asim was right the other night when he was saying about it's their man. They don't want to sack Slot because it's basically an acceptance that things have gone wrong.
Yeah,
as a collective responsibility. If you sack him, then you've got to accept that it's gone wrong. Now, if he wins against Bournemouth, he'll stay in a job. If he wins against Newcastle, he'll stay in a job, and he'll keep on. If the results come, which we don't know whether they will or they won't, more likely that they won't than they will. But if he keeps getting results and keeps us alive in the top 4, then they'll wait until the last possible minute to sell him. Because I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's a financial implication here as well. They're going to pay him. You've got to pay him. So it'd probably be less to pay him off in the summer than it would be to pay him now.
And a club, just sorry to interrupt, but a club of this magnitude, a club of Liverpool's magnitude, it cannot go game by game with the manager's performance. It cannot. This unbeaten run of 12. And look, I'm trying to be respectful because I have respect for Arne Slot. I have gone in for him after that PSV game, and I thought, you know what, that's just stupidity. We've got to be respectful here. We as a club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, cannot be going by game with this manager. You either have to have a clear, definitive decision and say, listen, he's gone in the summer, so we're going to stick at it. But we're not going to make that public. You don't make that public because then the manager's just a sitting duck. Or you get rid of him now and say, listen.
Yeah, but you get rid of him now. you've got to have a solution. You can't say just get rid of him and let what's called Giovanni Van Bronckhorst manage the team for the next 6 weeks or something. There's got to be
then 5 wins in 17 games. 5 wins in 17 games. Any other manager coming in cannot do worse than that. I mean, they can, but surely they wouldn't.
But me and you both agreed that we didn't want to become a laughingstock and start throwing in coaches as managers. So the fact Alonso is now there and we're saying, well, if he is a genuine option, but he wants a break, then maybe it's like, we'll wait and wait and wait. But if you think about the last time we were in this situation with Rodgers, I don't think there was like suddenly everybody woke up on, what didn't he sack him with a draw? It was like a board draw or something.
Everton 1-1 away, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, nobody's telling me that they suddenly woke up that morning and think, right, okay, let's get rid of Brendan today. It was on the cards for weeks and weeks leading up to it.
It was on the cards with Brendan Rodgers after Stoke, and they still gave him that summer to spend on Benteke.
But the game changer was Klopp, because all of a sudden the Klopp became available, and I think I'd like to think that that's probably the game changer. They weren't anticipating that Xabi Alonso was going to get sacked mid-season. I think they probably thought it would happen in the summer, but all of a sudden now that he's available, I think that does change the situation. But at the same time, if they can get to the end of the season and qualify for the Champions League, then they'll probably say, right, we'll start fresh in the summer. But personally, I think because of this programme in the summer and the World Cup on the horizon, it makes more sense to give Alonso. And imagine, I know it sounds, and I'm pained to say this because I've still got a huge amount of respect for Slot, but imagine if Alonso come in when we were into the last 16 of the Champions League, all of a sudden, Anfield would go nuts, and I think all of a sudden you'd say, you know what, let's just ride the wave and see what happens. Whether there's no wave at the moment, it's just we're trundling towards the end of the season, whether we get top 4 or not.
Asim, if I was the hierarchy, if I was Edwards and Hughes, I would give Slot his P45, say thank you very much, give him a nice little tribute on the website, give him a nice little monologue, one of the ones that you love writing, or on your sub. On your soon-to-be Substack, and make sure
I can do it if you want.
Make sure everyone subscribes to that when he finally gets it off the ground. I would give it to Xabi Alonso, and there's reports on the time saying that he wants a summer break. Well, I'll say to Xabi, listen, you've got the crowd from day one because you're an ex-player here. You've got a free run in terms of the next 5 months, you're not going to be judged, but just get this crowd going, get this team going the way you want, and let's go.
Abby was giving him 3 weeks off 20 minutes ago. Now he's starting on Monday.
If I was the hierarchy, I would go out and say, Xabi, whatever you want, get in and just you're an ex-player. You know what it means for the club. You touch that. This is the Amphel sign. Every time you've been a Leverkusen manager or a Real Madrid manager, and if you've been an opposing player, go and take the job, and then you've got a free hit between now till May. It won't be like an Amorim free hit from United. You've got a free hit from now till May to get this team going. And then,
but why is it a free hit? We bloody need to get the Champions League, regardless who it is.
Yeah, but he can't come on that merit. That listen, it's if you don't get top 4, you'll get sacked. It'll be a free hit. Like I know, he will know. He will know that he can maybe make mistakes early on. He'll try, obviously ask him, look, the changes that he made at Leverkusen straight away, the form improved. They had a good little run in the Europa League, but it was the next season where they really got going. In free run in terms of, look, come in and just try to get a tune out of this team. I don't think the football will be great straight away. It will still be very tepid. It will still be getting used to ideas, but he's got the fundamentals there already. Fundamentals meaning he's got Florian Wirtz who knows his thesis. He knows Frimpong and the demands that Alonso will want. So he's got a couple of players there, not the nucleus, but main players who did numbers for him under Leverkusen, who will understand that football. And hopefully that transcends into the rest of the team.
So if you're saying Alonso, just to press you on that, if you're saying Alonso's going to come in and he's gonna get a free hit, even though you took that back. But I know what you mean by it. But just get us Champions League. What's more important for you? For Alonso to come in and get to know the players, actually be on the training pitch, and take us to the Champions League. But you're saying the football won't be any different to what we're seeing now, is because you can't take any risks because Champions League football is so important. What's more important, that or having a break and proper studying the team from a distance, seeing what he needs for this team, gets a break as well, a mental break that apparently is so important to him, and then coming with some fresh ideas in the summer where he can straight away make those changes. What's more important?
If it was Asim, is a tough one. Look, I've told you. Look, I think he will want the reset in summer, but if the results don't improve after Marseille and Bournemouth, we need to make a decision. There needs to be a trigger button that says, "Listen, Slot,
No,
or you bring it into."
That's a separate issue. That's a separate issue. Don't go on Liverpool results because we'll come to that when.
I think he would need a break. I think he needs a break.
So you just said to me that if I were the hierarchy,
I
would give Slot his P45 and I'd tell Alonso, Aija.
Two things. If I'm the hierarchy, I'm enticing Xabi Alonso in any way I can to come now.
So
but if I'm Xabi Alonso,
he's not getting a break
if
then.
I'm Xabi Alonso now, if I'm the manager, the manager, I would take a break. But if I'm the hierarchy, I'm saying, listen, I'll pay you an extra.
If you were the hierarchy, you'd make the call to Alonso and say, Aija. But if you were Alonso, you'd say no.
So no, yeah. Come the summer.
I mean, one end on the phone, he says, Aija. The other one, he says, no, I'm not coming.
What I want now, so the third opinion, what I want.
Abi, you give me fucking opinions about you. You give me, if you were Alonso.
Abi, you fucking need a break.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about yourself.
No. If I tell you what I want, I want Xabi in the summer.
He wants, this guy wants.
I want
Xabi.
Mind, man.
I'm talking about you, bro.
I want
everyone.
I want Xabi in the summer. I want Xabi in the summer.
I don't know what you want, Abi. I don't know what you want.
2 minutes ago, you go, I want Xabi Alonso now.
No. I said I ideally want Xabi Alonso till the summer.
This guy's fucked in the head, mate. I'm telling you. Are you sure you want?
What do you think?
I gave you three. I gave you three. If it was up to me, I would bring him now.
No. He goes, if it's up to me, I would bring him now. And now he goes, I want him in the summer.
I gave you three viable options. I gave you three
options. Avi, let Sheen have his way.
No, he's just going to shout. He just shouts. That's what he does. He just shouts. He's Mr. Negativity. He's Mr. Toxicity. That's what he's been. All 2-3 weeks, he's been toxic. He's watching the AFCON. That's what he wants. You keep carrying on. You carry on.
Look, Avi, Ben, it's been 32 minutes. I haven't said a word. Because I've been listening to this guy tell me he wants, she wants, my dad wants, my mum wants. Yeah, that's what this guy's been talking about. 2 minutes ago, he goes, I want him to be here now. Then he goes, I want him to come in the summer.
I've said I want him to come in the summer.
You've also said you want him to come in now.
If I'm the hierarchy, I'm enticing.
I don't care about the hierarchy. I'm talking about you.
I'm giving you different opinions. Yeah, I said summer. I said summer from the beginning. I said summer from the beginning. I said summer in the beginning. I'm telling you what the owners should do and what Xabi Alonso should do. That's what I'm saying. Am I not allowed to speak on someone's behalf and think what they are thinking? Surely I can. I can.
Oh, no. Don't you talk about yourself, please. Yeah, that's enough for us. Give me all this.
I want him in the summer. He needs a rest. I think Real Madrid cooked him a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Get him in the summer.
Avi, are you running the danger of losing out on Alonso if you let him run to the summer? There is a big merry-go-round.
He will not be going anywhere right now, Asim. I really feel that. I think he's very,
we thought that about Margay.
I think if Liverpool come knocking, he's
giving us our word.
If Liverpool come knocking, he'll join Liverpool.
But if you wait till the summer, Avi,
which other club would come in for him over Liverpool? And
big merry-go-round.
Who would he choose over Liverpool? Bayern, maybe?
Yeah. City?
No. Not over Liverpool.
See, that is a really interesting point.
He goes to City over Liverpool, then he had no loyalty for us in the first place. I think he's got a lot of affection for Liverpool. We saw him in that Bayern Munich game for Liverpool in the friendly, that 5-5 friendly game. The older, the over 40s or whatever. And the words that he spoke, it's great to be home. This is my home. This is where my kids are from. One of my kids was born here. Why would he choose City over Liverpool? He's laughing his head off, but he's been toxic. He's been toxic for the last month. He's been Mr. Toxicity for the last month anyway. All he does is shout. And everyone just says, "Oh, Gino's the goat. Gino's the goat. Gino's the goat," because he raises his voice. I'm not here to raise my voice. I'm here to give you my opinion.
I am the goat. I'll tell you why. I'm the GOAT because I told you come January, talk to me, mate. You were saying give me 18 months. I am the fucking GOAT, not you. Remember that. Oh, Gay, Mark Gay. He's a man of his word. He's not going to let us down. He's going to do this. He's going to
So
do
much
that.
for being a pastor's son, isn't it?
Let me
So
fuck-
much for
let
being
me
a
land
pastor's
now,
son.
mate. If you're going to let me land. Yeah? Mark Gay is going to do this. He's giving us his word. Chankala word. I told you when another cup comes in, he's going to do one. Semenyo done. Oh, yeah. What happened? Semenyo's fucking wearing Man City shirt already. Avi, you don't know what you're talking about half the time. Kasam, you don't have the mark, yaar. You've lost it in the head. All this ITK, I'm this. I think the crazy thing was, you know, when Gay
Someone
went,
said, someone
one
actually
second,
said,
let me land now. Yeah, as soon as Mark Gay got thingy, Yasin, done, within 1 hour, this guy tweets Jeremy's jacket and another player, Liverpool. Within 2 hours, fucking the guy's going to Chelsea.
he's doing a medical. He's doing a
Bro,
medical.
literally 2 hours later, bro, the guy's fucking going to Chelsea for 65 million.
Jane, you're only as good as your last one.
And
Leno
there's plenty,
alone.
there's
Yeah,
plenty,
man, I'm telling
there's,
you.
there's plenty more on the train.
But look, on a serious note, yeah, look, obviously I missed the focus. That's what it is. I hardly ever see his Bhutan nowadays on camera, man. I need to have a go at him.
Jane, you missed the 10
I'm
minutes.
learning
Jane.
that this is all love. This is all love.
Jane.
You know what I mean?
Jane, you missed the 10 minutes before on backstage. Ask
Oh,
Ben.
mate. These nearly killed each other.
We'll tell the story. Basically, Carragher was right.
We nearly beating our UFC on Wednesday night. Absolutely.
No, but look, on a serious note, yeah, look, you know what? I don't want to.
Carragher wasn't right about shit, by the way, but carry on, Gene.
He's
Anyway.
a bastard, Carragher.
What?
Look,
He's a bastard.
No, I didn't say that, but
I'm saying
we
it.
were talking about somewhere else.
I'm saying it. I agree with you, Asim.
but you know, look, I don't want to give Asim. Look, I don't want to. We've sat here and spoken about Slot for too long now. For a week, like yes, so I can't be asked. We know deep down, we know, you know, he's on his last legs. Basically, it's a matter of when. That's the honest truth. If it happens and when it happens, I want, of course, look, everybody is gunning for Xabi Alonso. Yeah, and if Xabi Alonso is willing to take a break till the summer, I don't think why we should, put our eggs in Xabi Alonso's basket. There might be fucking somebody else that comes available. You don't know. If Enrique doesn't sign a contract, what the fuck do we want Xabi Alonso? I want Luis Enrique. Regardless of the players that we've got right now, we need to do 2 wingers that he's going to have to buy. Hopefully he'll buy 2 pressers, 2 players that he really likes, and we can go again. So if that's the case, fair play. People mention Cesc Fabregas. There's other managers out there that are still really, really good managers that might be available in the summer. Not available now, but if he wants a break, and I don't think Xabi Alonso is in a position to say to Liverpool Football Club, give me 6 months if we come knocking, mate. But Lija, we come knocking, Xabi Alonso has to come now because his time might be up in 5 months' time, mate. He might not be there in 5. Somebody else might become available. You just don't know in football. So I'm as much as I'm in Xabi Alonso's court ball. I'm in his court.
He's going round and round in circles as well. You're going round and round in circles again.
Now he's trying to get his own back on me for no reason, Avi.
Go Enrique, Shike, then you back to Alonso, then he has to take the job in 6 months. No, I want him now.
I said why should
he's not going to be there in 6 months. Why can't he sign a pre-gentleman's agreement for June?
Gentleman's agreement.
Why can't he do that? Managers have done that before. Glasnow's already told Palace that listen, I'm pissing off in the summer. He's probably talking to other clubs. He can't piss off in the summer. We knew that he was going to go fucking a year ago, Avi. He's not going to sign his contract, if we're honest. We knew in the summer this is his last year. So that's not a new thing. So if we have, say we approach Xabi Alonso and he says, look, I'm only interested in May, June time. You think that we will say, okay, we'll look at someone else then? Is that what you think?
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, I'm talking... I'm not fully sold on Xabi Alonso like you, Asim, or Ben. I'll be honest. I've got my question marks over him. If we're honest, I have. He's a good manager. He's done really well at Leverkusen. Didn't really do great at Real Madrid. But if come the summer, there's other players available. I want them. Other managers like what's his name, Enrique available. I want him over Alonso every day of the week.
Fair enough.
Avi, come on then. Tell me. You were quite vocal about.
Everyone's bombarded. I just want to say Sadio Mane, the Liverpool great, the brother Ginaz Asim. He's become a second-time African nation, and you know what? I'm so happy for Sadio Mane because he deserves it.
Even though I wanted
the things away from football, what he's done in his hometown of Bambali, he's an absolute gem of a human being. So Sadio Mane, a double champion at the AFCON. Well done.
What a champion.
No, respect him, man. Look, you got to give him credit.
Go
on, Asim.
Dominic Szoboszlai, you were talking about him. You think he's overrated? You think he's not been playing well for a while? You've been
overrated. I'll let you finish.
You've been saying that he's a road runner, and I thought it was unfair. But come on, it's you're in front of a camera. Explain your thoughts.
I don't think he's Liverpool captain material. I'll say that first and foremost. I think a lot of his performances he masks over a little bit, Asim. I get the industrious work that he puts in, but honestly, I need to see more quality on the ball. I get he can put in a cross here and there when he switches to the right, but honestly, some of his passing is a lot to be desired. I don't think he's got that ingenuity or creativity we need. He's definitely not like a Florian Wirtz. And he's had to learn on the job. I think under Klopp, he had to learn a new role at Liverpool. He's a good player, Asim. And similar to what you've said about Gakpo, he's a good player. I don't think he'll ever be a great player. And I think we could possibly get someone that's more suited to this team, which enables Wirtz to flourish even more. And I'm happy that and you're going to say who's that midfielder, who's that player? I need to really have a think, and I will definitely come with a suggestion. Look, Szoboszlai has done a lot for this club. I'm not saying that he hasn't got Liverpool material. I just don't see him being a great player.
But it depends how you define Dominic Szoboszlai. If you want to define Dominic Szoboszlai as a creative number 10, like everyone wanted him to be last season, where he receives the ball on the half turn and all that sort of stuff. But Liverpool didn't. They won they won the league, but they didn't have the total control. More so this season, and because of that, he had to play a balancing act, a different type of role. We all know, he has to screen the number 6. He has to jump on the centre back, and then jockey and took over Salah and the right back at times as well. So we all know what Jordan Henderson did, but for me, he played that type of role at a better technical level than Jordan Henderson and more. But if you want to define him as a Florian Wirtz type of number 10, then yeah, he's not elite, he's not world class, but he's the modern number 10, Avi. And I'm not calling him world class. We have to define people's roles in the team. And you have to understand, yes, you're calling him a roadrunner. You even called him a dirt coy. I think that's harsh because you have to understand roles.
He was a brilliant player, though. He was a brilliant player. He wasn't never a great player, though. I think I never called it. But Asim, sometimes you have gone in length about Szoboszlai, and the way you talk sometimes, or sometimes the way you write your wonderful threads. By the way, and I keep telling this idiot to get his fucking Substack going. And the quicker maybe on Wednesday, I might have to get it up and running with him live Substack. I'll say this: I think you sometimes have written in the way of like he's on that bordering cusp of world class. He's not. I don't think he is, and I don't think he'll get to that level. I think he'll be a very good player who will carve out a good career. 250 games for Liverpool. I think he'll be that kind of player, but not a captain, a born Steven Gerrard captain. I don't think he's anywhere near that. I don't think he's got that leadership skills.
And nobody said he's anywhere near Stevie G.
I think there's been people on Twitter, a lot of people on Twitter
Numpties.
who have dubbed. No, not numpties. You can see the characteristics 100%, but honestly, he's nowhere near Steven Gerrard. I think a Hungarian Henderson's a bit hard because I think Szoboszlai has got. Hold on, I think Szoboszlai has got a little bit more quality than Henderson, but on the ball, he doesn't do enough for me on the ball, Asim, and I want that. I want him sometimes to get us out of trouble and carry the ball. He can do it. I've seen him do it for Salzburg as a forward. I've seen him do it for Leipzig.
He tried to carry the ball. He tried to carry the ball yesterday. The manager stopped him.
The game by the scruff of the neck for Hungary numerous of times. I've seen it for Hungary. At Liverpool, when we're good, he's good. When we're bad, he can't get us out of trouble. And people saying that he's captain, future captain, he's not. You've said he's future captain too.
Played well for 15 games of the season.
You've said future captain.
Every single person was shit. He was the only player, if we're honest, he was the only player that we were all sat here saying if it wasn't for this guy, Liverpool would be sat in 18th position. And that's the honest truth. Not one. Yes, I accept the last 6 or 7 games, and I gave him shit in one of them not so long ago, a couple of games ago. As I said, it was dog shit today. But the 5 or 6 game, he hasn't been great. But prior to that, nobody can sit here saying that this guy wasn't miles. It wasn't even under 9. He was like on a different level compared to everyone else in terms of everyone's season. The only person that sort of came close was Hugo Ekitike. The rest of them were dog shit compared to him. So let's not make it out like because of his recency, 4 or 5 games where he's been crap and slate him, because I don't think that's fair. Because this, and plus, it's not. I don't think it's fair because number one, you've moved him out of position.
100%.
Number two, you've asked him to do 3 fucking jobs. Number two, you've asked him to do 3 positions in 90 minutes. Yeah, it's really unfair on Arnis, on whoever it is, to us to start giving a load of crap because he's sacrificing himself to play in 3 different positions. I accept 5 games. He hasn't been good, nowhere near as good. But the first 15 games of the season, bro, he was like on a different scale compared to anybody else.
I don't think he was bad yesterday as well.
I think sometimes
if you miss a penalty, you're gonna
apart from the penalty,
and with all due respect, you miss a penalty in a game like that, the knives are gonna come for you, and you have to take responsibility. So Dom has to take responsibility.
I was focusing on his general performance in open play.
The general performance in the last couple of games, I will be honest, I don't think he's been the Sobo that we've seen over the last month and or the start of the season. He was nowhere near as good enough.
For me, if Kirk had shot, he would have had an assist after 2 minutes.
Okay, Asim, TK, but at the end of the day, when you don't win a football match, Asim, and you miss a penalty like that, you are going to get called out. Especially, people are calling you arrogance, especially when you've done what you did the week 3 or 4 days before that.
Yeah.
The knives are going to be out, and they are out for him. And I get it. But we have to be a bit, be honest about it, man. Without this lad, we'd be fucking starting top 4. Bro, we'd be starting fucking 17th, 18th. Because we were that bad at the start.
Taking out what I'm saying, I'm not saying he's been a bad player, but sometimes optics is a great thing. And I think sometimes there's players that could make themselves look busy rather than being busy. I think he's one of those. He's a good player. He's a good player. He'll never be a great player. He'll never be a great player.
So how do you look busy on a
every team? Oh,
can you answer that, please?
Every team needs.
Can you answer that, please?
Every team needs a Sobo. Every team needs a Sobo. Like, I get the industrious, I get the hard work, the grafting. I get all that. There was a conversation here, Asim, 3 weeks ago about Szoboszlai contract and stuff like that, and I was the one that said, "Do we all feel that Szoboszlai will be a mainstay in this team in 2 years?" And resounding vote was 3-1, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not too sure myself." And I'm not saying based on the last 2 performances or the last 3 performances. I just think sometimes there's games where, like yesterday, a game at 1-1, evenly poised, people saying Szoboszlai is this, he's great. Go on, show it then. Take the game by the scruff of the neck, win it for us.
With all due respect, Avi. Okay, 1 second, and can I land here now? Yeah, you're asking a guy that's playing in the country. Go ask Florian Wirtz to win you the game. Go ask Hugo Ekitike to win you the game. Because Florian Wirtz is 1 second. Let me land now, because I want to be fair on Szoboszlai here. He's the guy that you paid £120 million for, whatever it cost. Yeah, he's your number 10. He should be going and winning you the game. Not a guy, and you're pinning it on Szoboszlai, right? When he's playing a different position. With respect, don't ask him to go and win you football matches. Your number 9s win you football matches. Your number 10s win you football matches. He's a player out of position. So we have to be fair. Go ask Cody Gakpo, who's a forward. They should be going and winning you a football match. This is just blatant going for Szoboszlai for no reason. Oh, he runs to look busy.
I have not raised my voice when it's come to Szoboszlai. I've been very definitive, and I've described what I think of Szoboszlai. I've not raised my voice. I've not said this and that. I'm just, you know what? Again, we should leave this conversation in a year's time when a new manager comes in and see their thoughts on Xabi.
If you were picking, if you're Arnis lot, you're Xabi Alonso, you're Luis Enrique, whoever it is in the summer, do you pick Dominic Szoboszlai in Liverpool's best 11?
If I'm spending a bit of money on the midfield area and starting my first 11, he's not in my first 11.
So who's your first 11 in the summer?
like I said to you
And
before,
midfield,
I'd have
sorry.
to come back to the table and give you players that I feel would fit what we want to do. Szoboszlai is not in that team.
So who is it? Who's your midfield for next season?
If I said to you, what did I say to you 2 minutes ago? I said I would have to come back to the table and give you two midfielders that I want for Florian Wirtz to start dictating games throughout
Give me
90
example.
minutes,
Give me
not just in
example.
patches. Look, I've
Give me
always said
example.
we need. Look, my words have always been we need two dog sitters in the middle.
So you're
I'm not
taking
saying-
Gravenberch out as well then? Because he's not a dog sitter.
Before I flew out, I said that midfield area will be addressed in a big way in the summer. I still feel that.
So give me two midfielders then.
Mute.
I would love a Wharton.
He's not a dog.
He's not a dog.
I would love a Wharton in the sitting six.
But he's not
And
a dog.
And another one I have to think about.
But Abi, you've just told me you want two dog sitters, two Kote, to protect Florian Wirtz.
Two.
Wharton is not a dog.
Wharton will sit. Wharton won't go forward. Wharton won't be progressive as if he's got if he has a structure around him. And
so you want two
Manda wants to be
controllers.
sitting.
So you want two controllers.
Two controllers that will do the work that Wirtz sometimes won't give us when we're on the defensive transition. We let Wirtz influence the game a lot more.
So you want
What I would say, Abi,
even Belaber's a bit of a progressive.
Avi, right, you know when you say dog, yeah, what do you mean? Do you want hard-working,
You
tenacious
see
midfielder?
at Leverkusen,
Anything but, by the way.
You saw at Leverkusen, he had Andrich and Xhaka. Yeah.
Yep.
Covered ground. Xhaka was the more that sat back a little bit and pinged passes left to right to Grimaldo. He used Grimaldo as his outlet time and time again. Yeah. We need similar profiles to that. I'm not saying those two.
Okay, say you want one Kota, you say
And
one
you
dog.
know I've been saying that as well. You know I've been saying that a lot as well. I'm gonna have to join you on my phone, my laptop thing. Hold on. Carry on.
No, but what I'm trying when you said I want to it means one Kota and one ball progressor, that's what he wants in that team.
You know what he wants. He doesn't know what he wants. That's the problem.
I will tell you now, Asim.
You're telling me you want two Kote, and then
Szoboszlai
will
will not be in this first 11 in a year's time. We'll talk then.
But I don't get your reasoning. You said you want two dogs.
Asim, I think this.
You said you want a controller. Then Wharton will cover ground. Wharton can't cover ground for shit.
Again, I'll tell you.
So what you're telling me is you want Liverpool to play with a midfield of Palhinha and Ugarte, dogs who can cover ground with shit on the ball.
Again, that's what your scouting tells you. You know me when I scout a player.
I'm going by your definition.
I'm telling you.
I'm going by your definition.
I'm telling you, Szoboszlai and Wirtz will not work if we want to become a great Liverpool team. And Szoboszlai will not be a first teamer come next summer under a new manager.
But
I'm telling you now, clip the date and I will be right. And clip the video. Sometimes my videos don't get clipped. And sometimes I'm right most of the time and they don't get clipped because you two want the exposure, which is fine. It is your channel.
No.
We will talk about Szoboszlai and you will say, you're right.
You know, Avi, Chin, you're on mute.
Avi, I promise you, I'm gonna clip 3 videos of you today and put on my area. I promise you, I am.
When they come true.
I am gonna clip 3 videos of his and I'm gonna get them out. And if you don't get dogs abuse, my name isn't Gene because you fucking waffled today.
There's no one that will give me dogs abuse. They can't give me dogs abuse.
Ben, you've been itching to come in.
I'd like to come at it from a different angle because I actually, without sounding like I'm sitting on the fence, I actually think there's a conversation that's valid on both sides. But we're talking about squad building here. We're talking about replacing one player for another player or a different type of player. And for me, that's Avi coming in on his mob. 2 Avis is better than 1. So for me, I do understand where Avi's coming from in the fact that Szoboszlai is limited in his technical ability. And if we're all being honest, then at the start of this season, the logical person for Wirtz to come into the team, if we're resetting again and we're all looking back at the situation, the person who ironically was going to be, Wirtz was going to replace was Szoboszlai. I think we all sort of agreed on that. But the way it's worked out, Szoboszlai's ended up being our best midfielder this season. Yeah. Now, for me, I would not be getting rid of Szoboszlai because I think he's so versatile. He's shown that this season. He's one of the only people in the team that's got an engine that's able, like, even against Burnley, some of the transitions on yesterday, he's the only one who can actually track back and actually mop up and cover. Even Gravenberch in his position where he's at, he hasn't got the ability to be able. Am I just on my own now?
What's Xavi doing, man?
There we go. I thought everyone had gone then. Yeah, he's the only one who's got that profile to be able to track back. So for me, and again, maybe controversial, but I'm keeping McAllister. And I tell you what, I'm selling Curtis Jones in the summer before I'm selling Szoboszlai.
See, that's a little.
That's the one I'm selling.
No, but the McAllister one is again.
We'll come to Curtis. So Ben, just to press you on that. So who's your midfield for next season?
My midfield for next season, I actually think my midfield for next season would be Wharton, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz.
We won't win the league with that midfield, with that three. No way. You're
not even giving me any options. You didn't even give me a midfield.
A man of my talents needs to really research the game.
Without no midfield.
Okay, so my reply was, do you think McAllister and Gravenberch and Szoboszlai was going to win the league when it started the season?
It was good enough to win the league.
Honestly?
McAllister, yes, because we saw that McAllister control midfield areas, departments, the composure he had, that bite he had, that South American sort of warrior-like spirit. He was a brilliant footballer. This year, McAllister's been short, way short. He's not going to be a Liverpool player come summer. And people laughed at me back in September, October. Two out of the four on the panel here laughed at me, Ben, when I said McAllister wouldn't be a Liverpool player next summer.
I think you're about
scoffed, shall I say? Not you, Asim, but these two below scoffed when I was saying that McAllister would leave.
So let me finish. You want a dog to protect Wirtz. Well, Szoboszlai is your perfect dog because he runs all day and twice on Sunday, and he has got a technical ability to be able to contribute when required. When you ask him to play high up the pitch and be the creative brain thinker, he doesn't have that attribute and that skill set, but he does have an unbelievable engine and somebody who can get around the pitch and mop up and clean up and do whatever needs to be done innate and still contribute going forward on the odd occasion. He's really good in a general situation. I think he's perfectly okay in that deep lying role, and you put a little bit more of a crafty passer alongside him in an Adam Wharton, I think that's absolutely fine for me. And then Florian Wirtz can excel with two elite wingers in front of him, because that's the reality of it. I don't want to be rebuilding this midfield in the summer. We've got to spend a lot of money on centre-backs and we've got to spend a lot of money on wide forwards. So the pot will dry up quite quickly and we can't be putting 2 or 3 new midfielders into this team. And I think if you're going to change anybody, Curtis Jones for me, I think everyone's raving about him the last few weeks, but I just think to me, he's just a really decent midfielder. But if someone wants to give me 40, 50 million as Spurs, then I'm biting your hand off all day long before I'm selling Szoboszlai.
You don't think Jones was good yesterday, Ben?
I think he's okay, but I think he chews the ball way too much. He's got an arrogance about him where, you know, he really does just sort of fleet in and out of games. He doesn't put the work rate in off the ball anywhere near as much as Szoboszlai. His long range passing is completely limited, and he doesn't have a goal threat either. I think he flatters to deceive, and he's injured too much as well. Szoboszlai never misses a day's training, let alone an injury. You know, the attributes and the contribution that Szoboszlai gives to this team far exceeds Curtis Jones, in my opinion. And I'd be getting rid of him long before Szoboszlai.
It'll be interesting.
I think one point,
sorry, go on.
I think one point that we don't mention is, like, we talk about the different positions that Szoboszlai has played this season, and rightly so. You know, it's a benefit, it's a plus point when it comes to Szoboszlai. But we don't mention the fact that this freedom that Ryan Gravenberch has been talking about, the manager's been talking about, is the way that teams have set up is increased the need for a proper passer in the midfield. And Ryan Gravenberch, I'm not saying he's been shy. He's been one of our best players if you span it over the last 12 to 18 months. And he's been a revelation because he changed position as well. But you have to understand is the way teams set up against us now is last year when teams were just zonal against us. How many times did you see Van Dijk just play that ball into midfield between the two strikers of the opposition, and Ryan Gravenberch turned on the sixpence and ran into space? But now they either just go from our keeper, they press us man to man, or if we beat it and get onto the halfway line, then they just sit off completely. And that's where Liverpool are found wanting, is because Ryan Gravenberch doesn't have the progression with the pass, and there's no space with the low block. So Curtis Jones in earlier phases has to come in left back positions recently to let Kirkes go. But more importantly, Szoboszlai has been coming into the places and providing that progressive pass. So if you look at Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai's progressive passes, they're higher than Ryan Gravenberch, and that shouldn't be the case, because you need to bounce off the number 6. And Liverpool can't bounce off the number 6, because when you can't even pin opposition with Ryan Gravenberch, because he doesn't have those little switches of play to the left, to the right, to pin opposition in. So when we talk about different positions, we have to mention this as well. There's an extra responsibility on the likes of Curtis and Dominic Szoboszlai to make up for the lack of 6 that we have in the team. So I think you're doing a big disservice, honestly, for a guy who's been one up. And I mentioned it that about 2-3 weeks ago, that, you know what, because he's providing so much energy, he's got so many different roles, especially in and out of possession, is what's going to happen in 2-3 weeks' time. He's gonna look a bit leggy, and we're going to come for him, and it's going to be really, really harsh.
I haven't come for him at all.
You have come for him.
I've said
it's really unfair to talk about Dominic Szoboszlai, who's been one of our best players this season.
All I've done is calm down the talk of this sort of captain material Szoboszlai, and he's a captain in waiting, and he's going to be this great. I don't think he's going to be a great player. He's a good player, and we need good players at Liverpool Football Club. I just would like to see the midfield starting 3, first game of the season, next season. That's it. That's all I said. First game of the season.
Avi wants a complete revamp of the midfield, really. That's what you're asking for, aren't
you?
I think
he wants a revamp without giving me any names. G.
I think Florian Wirtz, to really flourish in this team, I've told you what he needs. And I don't think Szoboszlai can give that to us.
Is there no player in world football you think can fit?
I need to go back to my talent ID scouting.
No, okay.
I'll give you players. I will give you players.
You can have anybody.
I will give you players.
My talent ID. My talent ID. You can't give me one name right now.
Would a Moses Caicedo fit?
Of course, a Caicedo fits.
And a Vitinha?
No. World-class player. Vitinha is a world-class player, but we're talking about Liverpool here. We're talking about structure. How does Vitinha and a Wirtz fit in a midfield area in the Premier League? Physicality, legs, running.
How does Wharton fit and Vitinha doesn't fit?
Wharton is 6 foot. Is a 6 foot player.
But he's not. He doesn't eat ground up.
Is he a 6 foot player?
He doesn't do.
What's his height? What's his height? What's his height?
He doesn't eat ground.
What's his height?
I don't know.
No.
He'll be close.
Xhaka wasn't a ground eater either at Leverkusen, but what he gave was balance.
Xhaka could eat a lot more ground.
Xhaka
could eat a lot more ground than thingy.
What Xhaka gave at Bayer Leverkusen was great balance in that middle of the park. Andrich was the one that was covering ground and making dirty runs. Szoboszlai is a very good player. I would like to see our midfield 3, because we want Wirtz in the 10. We don't want Wirtz on the left next season. We do want Wirtz in his traditional 10 position. I would like to see what that midfield looks like first game of the season.
Isn't it just completely obvious that we need to look at the areas that need most addressing in the summer? And surely we'll all have to be honest and say midfield, even though we'd love to improve here, there and everywhere, it's the least required area to improve. We need 2 centre-backs. We need 2 elite wide forwards if we were assuming that Salah's going in the summer. So it's like we're not going to have a lot left to go and spend, 100 million here and 80 million there on all of these midfielders. So I think we have to be realistic about the situation and think, we buy 2 centre mids and maybe a fullback that can play either side or something along those lines, and 2 wide forwards, then we're probably not going to have that much left in the pot.
Okay.
And I would back an elite coach to be able to make the most out of the midfield options that we've got at the moment. If Slot can win the league with that midfield, why can't Alonso or Enrique?
Okay. I think Avi is just going off the extreme views whether it's Szoboszlai or anyone else, there's always going to be some extreme views, and Avi is addressing them.
I've not said that we should sell Szoboszlai, by the way. I said he's a good player who will still be utilised in this Liverpool team. I just said I would like to see the midfield three first game of the season and how that looks like. I think, Ben, you're wrong when you say the midfield area shouldn't be addressed. I think it's one of the most pivotal areas that we need
More
to address in the summer.
centre-back or
It's a
wingers.
pivotal area that we need to address. A pivotal
More
area.
important than
I'm not
centre-backs or
talking about
wingers.
which order in. I'm telling you, it's a
All right,
pivotal
you're DOF
area.
and you've got 300 million to spend in the summer.
And I'm going to make sure that I get a midfielder in.
Before wingers and centre-backs.
I'm going to get a midfielder in. Doesn't matter about the timing and who I get in before or which comes in before, whether I go for a midfielder first. A midfielder is on that £300 million budget.
So we've got like an elite midfield next season, and we've got Van Dijk and Gomez at centre half.
Yeah,
And I think the talk, and I think the talk, and Asim, just coming on that, Asim, I think the talk, just quickly, I think the talk is obvious. Going, looking around the sources and Joyce and whoever, that midfielder is a priority in the summer.
If we have £300 million, every single person on this stream and in the chat wants a midfielder. But if you have £150 million, that's what Ben is asking you. If you have £150 million and you need 3 players, who are you buying first? Are you buying a £70-80 million midfielder? Or are you going big? If you have to do 70, I don't know, you'll get to 150-30. Around about 150-160 million. Who are you spending £70 million on? Are you spending a £70 million on the winger, the centre-back, or the midfielder? That's what Ben is asking.
Well, if I've got 300 million to spend...
No. Forget the
Are you telling me that with 300 million pounds, that's what he asked the question, 300 million pounds I've got.
Yeah, no, that's net. That's not gross, because we probably will sell
okay, but are you telling me a midfielder will not be a priority?
Not as much as a priority. You know how the word priority works. It means order.
Ben, a centre back was a priority in January. We've got nobody in. A winger was a priority in January. A winger was a priority in the summer and January. They haven't come in.
But
we brought 3 17-year-old centre backs that we don't know whether they're going to make it or not. So I can't tell you what the hierarchy will be thinking and what comes easiest to the eye, or which deal will be easier to do. It may be they can get Wharton from Crystal Palace. It could be they get Wharton in first.
Tonight?
It could be.
I don't give a shit what Richard Hughes wants.
You're either gonna know what you want to do tonight. Because my opinion does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
The hierarchy matters.
My
opinion. I don't have no affiliation with the club. I don't have no connection with the club apart from I support.
Honestly,
but you're here to give an opinion.
What position's your first signing in the summer? Very simple question.
Okay, centre back. Then a midfielder, then a winger. But I can't tell you that the club will not. I can't tell you. I can't tell you the club are not. They might do a deal for a midfielder first.
Avi, lower your camera because I want to know what you've got there, man, on that table.
I get what you mean about when deals fall into position.
I think it's really. I think it's really. Look, I think it's amateurish when we say what's a priority, what's not. We know. That's how squads are built. I think it's embarrassing when we say what's a priority, what not. No disrespect, Ben, but look, we needed a centre back since the summer. We didn't get no one in. So what's a priority? What is a no? How can we say it's a priority right now? The hierarchy don't obviously think it's a priority. The hierarchy obviously think that centre back's not a priority. But that's why we got anyone. We didn't get a Gahey in.
Yeah,
but that's why we go after them.
That's me, boys. On the kind of speak now.
Go on.
Some I'm not lying to you. You know what? Normally I'd go Pagaline, but I'm not even gonna say it. I know this guy's off his rocker today, so just let him be, guys. He's not bitter yet. I don't know what it is, Ben, but he's not with it. He's definitely not with it. How obviously we need centre backs and we need.
Dina, can I ask you?
Let me finish.
No. We're going over centre backs again. Can I ask you midfield? Can I ask you midfield 3 next season? What that looks like for you? Can you please answer that for me?
Go on, answer it, Chin.
Yeah, I ask him right now. If midfield, I don't really give a shit about. I
Your
fucking want
three. No,
wingers.
I want your three. I want your
centre
three.
backs. I want wingers.
Oh.
I need wingers, mate. If you want Florian Wirtz to flourish, give him fucking wingers, mate. He needs some fucking wingers. He needs a left winger that's good enough to go past him, because this guy, that's what he needs. Midfield we can work with. We need centre backs. Why am I gonna talk about midfield right now, bro? I need fucking 3 centre backs. I need 2 wingers. That number one priority is, yes, if it comes down to it and a Wharton's available or an Anderson's available, I buy them, because I think we need them. We need some sort of physicality. We need, to be honest, we do need both to an extent. We need a volume passer and we need a bit more physicality in this team. Yeah? And we need both. So, but we're not buying both. Yeah, so, you know, we're not buying both. We fucking need to buy other players. There's other areas that need sorting out. But Dominic Szoboszlai starts in my football team.
The beauty of this conversation, Asim, and again, this is where, you know, this is where you three have exposed yourself. A month ago, we had a poll. And we did 2 shows in a row, where we spoke about waxing lyrical of Elliot Anderson, Belaba, Adam Wharton, Ayub Buwadi. We were talking about all these midfielders, and now we're like, no, we don't.
But
need
nobody.
that. That's not priority. We were saying a month ago. We were saying a month ago that was a priority. The midfield area was priority. Do not go back on your word. Do not go on your word.
Can I come in?
We did 2 back-to-back shows, 3 hours, an hour and 30 minutes, and an hour and 30 on. We did 3 hours worth of content.
Can I come in?
Saying that we need to address this midfield area.
Okay,
ASAP.
Can I come in?
I'm a genius. I am a genius.
All right, can you show me that? That's not tea. That's not tea.
That's not fucking tea.
Can I speak now? Nobody. Let me speak, man. You're on mute.
I've muted him.
I would never drink on stream. You know that, Asim.
Okay.
Apology, please.
Nobody here is saying we don't need a midfielder. Nobody is denying the fact that we weren't talking about Andersons and Buwadis and all these guys, because we do need something different in that midfield, whether it's physicality, whether it's progression, whatever. And that's why we're mulling over the idea. Do we just go for build-up and passing ability? Because Wharton's passing ability, and he's got the highest ceiling in terms of passing compared to someone like Anderson. But Anderson's is probably in the similar mold of someone like Szoboszlai, where he's got legs and he's got progression as well, but not as good as Wharton. And that's why we're talking about it, because Liverpool do lack something, and especially with the form of McAllister. And that's why the conversation has increased. But in terms of priorities, Avi, if you gave me £100 million now, I wouldn't go for a midfielder straight away. I wouldn't. I would go for a winger. I would go for a centre-back. And then any change, then I'd go for a midfielder. But if you got £300 million, then obviously you are going to buy a midfielder, because you can buy 3, 4, 5 players. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Because we were talking about selling McAllister and replacing him. Do you understand? Exactly. At that time, we were talking about selling McAllister and replacing McAllister. Who would you replace him with if he was to go? That's where the conversation was. It was not about the midfield is our first point of call where we need this. There's someone that needs sorting out. But if McAllister goes, 100% we need a midfielder. And that's the honest truth. Yeah. We need somebody to come in. And that's why we were speaking about Andersons, the Whartons, and we were saying we want flipping players that have got physicality in there. We were arguing, someone was saying, we need a controller in there. That is where the conversation started from. So it has nothing to do with what you're chatting about, by the way. So anyway.
And you know what? We need that's a really interesting. It's a really interesting point, that, because we're all saying what our perfect scenario is. But the reality is it's all based on the personnel, specific personnel, who comes in for a player, who wants to leave, who's coming to the end of their contract, are all part of the fact that, like, if you take Diaz and Gakpo, for example, I think in a perfect world, even in hindsight, we'd all rather have Diaz than Gakpo, because he would offer more to this team and this setup. But the reality is Gakpo had a long-term contract and nobody really came in for him. And Diaz, we had to sell him because he wouldn't sign we didn't want to offer him a new deal when he was coming to the end of coming close to his 2 years. So you've got to make decisions not necessarily based based on what's absolutely perfect, but what's the scenario of the setup? Like, it might be a case this season where long term they think, you know what, Szoboszlai isn't maybe the perfect scenario, but therefore nobody really comes in for serious money for him, so therefore we'll keep him. That's just an example. I don't think that's the case, but it's not necessarily exactly what we want. It's what's the scenario around the team as well and the setup, isn't it? Sorry, Abby, go on.
Just to, if I may, ask a question to the three of you. Szoboszlai will be in your starting midfield at the first game of the season. If he's fit.
He will be in mine, yeah. Yeah, he'll be in mine. But
I know
then
he's in
my caveat with that is he'll be in there in multiple positions, because I just think you need that sort of player. Like, I think Henderson's a great example. He was a very vocal captain, but he wasn't brilliant technically, but he can play in multiple positions. he gives you loads of legs all over the pitch, and he contributes generally. He's never injured, and he's always fit. You know, that's a big factor. And in a league like this as well, you do need, you can't have everybody to be a world-class operator. From a technical perspective, you need players with versatility, you need players with consistency, you need players with that, you know, that ability to be able to play in multiple positions. You know, James Milner wasn't a technically fabulous player, but my word, was he so pivotal to what we did and how we achieved and what we
you know the irony, Ben, is that he's talking about protection, and in an environment floating in Wirtz, we're taking the legs out for him.
Yeah.
And he's refusing to provide a player for me. And then he wants legs and then chooses Wharton. So if I'm taking piss out of your talent ID and your scouting, then
Sometimes I look for tacticians on the pitch. Szoboszlai, like I said, he's a great road runner. He's a good player. You need good players in this team. We will talk first game of the season, but don't worry about that. And I'm sure the majority of the comments are all pro Sobo.
Put it this way.
That's fine. You can't blame us, innit, Avi?
That's totally fine. No. This is what I'm saying.
You talk a lot of shit.
I made a big look. You can
talk
say
a lot
what
of shit, Avi.
Gene, you can talk what you want.
That's the truth. You
Gene,
come up with so much
I couldn't care less what you're saying.
They're gonna go for you, bro. I don't blame you half the time.
Don't talk over me, Gene. Have some respect.
You
got intellect. You got a bit of intellect. Let me talk. I said in October, about McAllister. Now all three of you are probably saying, yeah, no, not Asim, because Asim was on that train as well a long time. Okay. Ben and I think Gene, you're like, yeah, if you have to sell him, actually you have said sell him in the summer. Ben's still sticking by him. That's fine. We'll talk in the summer.
Okay, but the point is, for me, is that the midfield that we currently have won the league. They have proven that they are capable of winning.
The Premier League evolves, Ben. The Premier League is evolving. We've seen that with Arsenal. Teams change their structure. Teams change their setups. We can't be still living in from the past year or so. It's moving at a rapid pace. We've been left short in that midfield area. We've been beaten, out-muscled by the likes of Brentford away and whatnot. So we'll talk. We'll talk in the summer what we do.
Fucking hell.
Very really wrong. Just remember
conversation, that. But tell you what, give me two wide forwards with goals and output, and two quality forward thinking centre passing with distribution ability centre backs over a midfielder any day of the week. I do agree that we do need to get a midfielder. I've got no problem with that. You know, Endo will go in the summer, maybe a Jones, maybe a McAllister, and with that money they can then go and buy another midfielder. I'm fine with that, but it shouldn't be the priority. That's all I'm saying, is that the priority should be to upgrade on Gakpo, to replace Mohamed Salah, which we all think is reality. So who plays right wing for us next season? Chiesa. You know, if you've got a pot of money now and you're like, there's your midfielders.
I don't know who's that
right winger.
Oh,
you know, who plays right wing for Liverpool next season?
Can I ask you a question, Avi?
You may.
You talk about how the league is evolved. Yeah. The league is going towards physicality. The league is going with two more teams.
Szoboszlai fits that. Like, you're missing the point. You not go to one extreme and you've perceived it like, this is what you always do. This is what the beauty of you lot do. Even with the Salah stuff, you say that's it. You hate Szoboszlai. You cannot put Szoboszlai. You hate him. You want him sold. What did I say at the beginning? Szoboszlai is a good player. You need good players to be a successful team. You need players like Szoboszlai to start some games. All I've said is it will be interesting to see what that midfield area looks like. I think he masks over a lot of performances. I think his ball work is a lot to be desired. That's all I said. I'm allowed to have an opinion on how I see Szoboszlai in recent months, maybe a month or so out. Yeah, I think he masks a little bit over his performances where people are saying he's captain material. And do not give me that, Asim, you've never said he's a captain in waiting. I'm pretty sure you've tweeted that. You've tweeted that too. That, oh, I can see captain material. Give it to Szoboszlai. He's saying the right words. And the words he said against Arsenal, the words he said, the words he said, the words he said prior to Arsenal were brilliant. When the guy asked him, "You're playing against the champions," he goes, "We're the champions." Love it. And I'm not here to discredit Szoboszlai. I'm saying he's a good player, but I think that midfield area, it will be addressed where I don't see a Szoboszlai starting the first game of the season.
So Avi, if we define Szoboszlai's position and define his role and define what we want him to do within the team, so that it amplifies his attributes rather than opening up his deficiencies, is that not the better way to use him? Is that not the way to go? Rather than saying he doesn't start, just say, look at all of the really huge attributes that he brings to the team. Therefore, play him in a role in the team that amplifies those attributes. And you're not asking him to create necessarily. You're not asking him to provide. That's where Florian Wirtz and the forwards should do that job. And you are basically using him effectively as a Gini Wijnaldum / Henderson type player.
Yeah, and I've always got appreciation for that, and I've got appreciation for his unmatched flexibility in this team. Not a lot of players of his ilk can do the job that he does. All I've said is I think we will go a different direction, and I think we'll see a different 3. I think we'll see Wirtz in his favoured 10, and I think we'll see 2 different midfielders behind him. First game of the season.
I don't want to sound like a bit of an idiot here, but are we doing too much to fucking accommodate Florian Wirtz? Because according to Avi, we need 2 fucking midfielders. According to me and you and everybody else, we need 2 fucking wingers. We haven't got fucking strikers. Our fullbacks are just about starting to play. I'm not being funny with you. We're accommodating all this for one player on a title-winning team.
I think it's clear that the way the team is going, this is being structured around Florian Wirtz.
Why don't we just move him
I
to
think,
the
Gene, you're the Gene again.
No.
Last February,
left. Why do we have to change everything?
Gene, last February, you were vouching for Florian Wirtz. Yes,
I
or
was.
No? Okay.
He was my
And
only
you
player
know,
that I wanted.
you know that when you got a player of Florian Wirtz's ilk, you have to build it around him. He is the playmaker. He's the creator. He's like the De Bruyne of City. You have to give him the tools to succeed, especially in the Premier League. That's why I think the vision for this club, with or without Slot, is to create the team with Wirtz as that base, as the creator. And to give him all the components for him to flourish. And look, we're seeing the fruition of his work. We're seeing him playing so much better with the Jones, who's on his kind of wavelength, with Ekitike, with Hugo. No, don't say against shit opposition. This is what I mean. Stop saying shit opposition. He played against Arsenal. He played very well against Arsenal. Stop saying this. This is what I mean. You go to one narrative to another. You're not making sense. He's played very well. In the last 5-6 weeks, he's probably been our best player, Gene. 3 out of 10, yeah? He's got Ekitike back in this team. He's got Ekitike back in this team. Kirkers is playing better because of him. And Jones, that connection on the left. Ekitike same. We're building this team around Wirtz, whether you like it or not.
That's fine. I'm saying, is it worth what we've done? All of this for one player. I gave him 3 out of 10 for the first 15 games because he was dog shit. That's the honest truth. He was absolute dog shit. He's produced in games against fucking Burnley, recently Burnley, Fulham. What was the other one?
Very good
Burnley,
against Arsenal.
Fulham, where?
Very good shift against Arsenal. Very good on the
listen. Oh, yeah, but fuck. Oh, shifts.
One has to penalty against Inter.
He scored a couple of games, 3 games against teams. Go. This is when I said to you, go and produce it. I need to see him 1,000 times more from him, and I hope I will. But what you have to understand is, you can't start saying give him the keys to Liverpool. I don't agree. I'll be honest with you. I need to see more from this kid till the end of the season to prove that, you know what, where it's worth. If this guy can take the mantle of being the number 10, the main man of Liverpool, because there's still a long way to go. That's all I'm saying. Producing it against fucking Fulham, Burnley, and the other on the other game isn't still good enough. There's a lot more to go, mate. A lot more to see from this guy to see if this guy is good enough. I'm not having a go at him. Do I think he'll come good? Yes, but I'm not gonna sit here and say fucking eulogize over a player when the guy's running against 3 or 4 games recently. That's what he's shown me. He's done well in past 3 or 4 games. That's all I'm saying. Bro, go and prove to me. He's got a long way to go yet, mate. I'm telling you straight. There's still a lot to see from Florian Wirtz, where he has to show he's good enough. And he's just because he's played 3 or 4 good games. That's it. Fucking Szoboszlai played 15 good games, mate. We're fucking going to town on him.
I did not. You go watch the show. Repeat the show. Watch the show again, Gene, and you'll see I have not ranted. I've not shouted. I've not shouted. I've not shouted about Szoboszlai. All I've just said is Szoboszlai is a good player. You need good players in this team.
Yeah, but all your argument is flawed.
It is not at all.
You just said, hear me out.
No, we've spoken about Szoboszlai, but we don't need to go back and forth on it.
You did chat a lot of shit.
Shall you lot go forth on it?
You did.
I'm not going to respond now. I'm not gonna, okay. It was shit like it was shit like it was against McAllister. It was shit like it was against Konate, who people still think that he's going to be a Liverpool player. Cholo, well done. You saw Konate this season. Fucking frog. He made me do that, Gina. Asim triggered me there. You know, Gina's the same. Okay, can I just come in a little bit tongue in cheek here? Gina's the same guy.
No, you can't. I'm gonna put in now. I'm gonna put in. No, I'm gonna put in.
A little tongue in cheek.
No, I'm gonna do what you do.
Ben.
By the way, Avi, I was gonna say you said he's shit on the ball. I just got my stat man to just send me some.
I didn't say that. I did not. Tell me why I said he's shit on the ball.
Okay, I'll give you some on the ball stats. Passes completed, Dominic Szoboszlai, and this is not just in the Liverpool team, this is in the Premier League across top 5 European leagues as well. Passes completed 97 percentile, passes attempted 98 percentile, total passes who's 100%? Your dad. Total passing distance 98% percentile, progressive passing 98% percentile, passes into the penalty area 94, progressive passes 95. What more do you want from this lad? Short, medium, long distance, passes into the final third. So you can't say it's safe passing. 97 percentile.
Optics is a great thing, Asim. That's what I'll say.
What do you have to? So you have to play a progressive pass to get a start. These are facts. This is what we're watching as well.
I'm sorry.
This is what I was talking about. That he's got an extra responsibility of coming deep and playing for us. Because in terms of passing, compared to Ryan Gravenberch, compared to McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai has a better range of passing.
What's okay? That's fine. And look, those are really impressive stats. Can you tell me the GA for Szoboszlai in the Premier League? Just the Premier League.
You sent me that graph earlier.
Okay, that's it. That's fine.
What is it?
I think it's 1-1.
We've also got 3 goals and 3 assists in the Champions League as well.
How many against Frankfurt was that? Was it against Frankfurt? Majority of those or what? He also conceded the penalty against Galatasaray too. Oh, sorry. That was a right back. Ben, if you can just confirm.
He asked me a question about GA, and then he's talking about a penalty conceded.
Ben, can you confirm his GA in the Premier League? I think it's 3 or 4 goals and 4 or 5 assists in the Premier League.
This season.
Yes, this season.
His reasoning.
1 minute.
GA. His reasoning and his argument about Dominic Szoboszlai's GA. He backed it up by saying he conceded a penalty.
Asim, let Ben finish. Yeah, just a GA stats, please.
2 goals and 1 assist.
In how many games?
In 21 Premier League games this season.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, but what's Isak?
I've said it's not bad.
It's 3 goals and 3 assists in 6 Champions League games. It's 1 assist in the Community Shield and it's 1 goal in the FA Cup. So in total this season, 29 games, it's 6 goals, 5 assists. So 11.
It's not bad.
29.
It's not bad.
And he's been at right back.
I've said it's not bad. I said it's not bad in the Premier League either. I said it's not bad, Asim. I'm not arguing it. And Asim, just
who's this bad in the Premier League, Avi?
Just a quick one, Gene, and you'll vouch for this. Just a quick one. You know how he mentions Wirtz against Wolves and this and that. This was the same guy who rang me when Salah scored against Benin. And he's shouting, Duaka.
Yeah, you have
And
to
I said,
figure
yes,
out- you have
Salah
to
will
figure
do
out
it.
pers-
Salah will do
personal-
it.
I said, when you've got him,
Asim,
and he's talking about
Benin.
personal conversations, Avi, now. ठीक है. If you want it
Let's do some.
personal, ये क्या
Let's
हाल
do
है?
some-
Let's do
let's
some
do some-
admin,
I'm
boys.
not gonna let it
Let's
be
do some
personal.
admin.
I'm not gonna let
Let's
it
do some supers, man. Let's do some.
We don't
do some
throw jibes like that, Gene. Come on.
Yeah,
Russ,
listen,
you there?
Salah's here.
Can I
Salah
just
is
say,
king.
guys?
Salah is king.
Can I just say as well, we are on an hour and 28 minutes on a Sunday night. All four of us are in the house, giving you unbelievable content. 169
I
likes.
think today's been the worst show
It's
ever.
shocking.
I'm not lying
takes
to you.
the piss. That takes the piss, though. Come on,
How
people.
many likes?
160, man.
169.
I thought it'd be fucking 10 by the show we fucking done today. Come
Okay,
on,
well,
guys.
well,
smash
well,
that
I
like
think
button.
it's been
I take it back
a
what I've
superb
heard.
show.
I take
It's
it
been
back
a-
what I've
Well,
heard. Go on.
it's
I take
been
it
a
back.
superb
while
show.
I take it
Asim's
back
doing
about
the
it.
supers, we need the Cheen lean for a poll to make this decision.
Oh.
Yeah. Is Avi pissed? Yes or no?
Let's not get personal.
Cheen lean. Let's do that.
Asim, let's
poll.
not get
You come
personal,
up with the
please.
poll.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
do
I'm sorry, but you are pissed.
Yeah, this is standard Avi, man.
Vasudev Inazi. I like that name.
Cheen, quick one
Yes,
there
yes.
for the poll. Does Szoboszlai start in Liverpool's 11 next season?
Okay, wait, let me
That's a
just
good
add
poll.
this.
So no.
That's a good poll. And honestly, I would love to see where we're at the end of the show in the next sort of 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
I'm honestly intrigued by that. I'm as intrigued to ask you three the question: are Konate and McAllister first teamers next season?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Asim,
You need to tell me your two midfielders behind Wirtz. Then I'll answer your question.
that's fair. No, that's fair. Ben,
So what was the question again? Sorry, say again.
Konate and McAllister, will they be in the first 11 next season?
Neither will.
Okay. Next, should we talk about Milos Kerkez, guys?
You have to be at the club to be in the
We
first
can,
11.
we can talk about Kerkez after the Supers, Avi. So, Klopp asked Leipzig director to sign Diamande. We should be all over him in the summer. In my opinion, his dream is to play for Anfield for Liverpool as well. Thank you so much.
Big up Vasudev Anahi, by the way, a very good friend of mine.
Diamande again, Amada. Asim thoughts on Diamande. I'll tell you in a week. I said the same to someone on Twitter today.
I'll give
What-
you my opinion. He's not good enough yet. Good
didn't
player,
He didn't
young
ask
player.
you. He didn't ask you.
He didn't need to.
Vasudev, I know. Szoboszlai is winning us number 7 in Budapest.
100% agree with that.
Inshallah. Selection. Big up selection. How long has Avi been speaking nonsense?
Not
1
long
hour and
enough.
30 1
Not
hour and
long
31
enough.
minutes. SJ, Avi, would you take Siddiqui as a dog from Sunderland? He's
Super player, and a big shout out to our boy Grizz for pointing him out earlier this season. He's a very good player, Siddiqui.
Gene, sorry to interrupt Gene's camera. You're just gone again, mate.
Oh, Gene's frozen. SJ again, big up to SJ, always supporting the
I think
channel.
Gene likes. Hold on, I think Gene likes Siddiqui too. By the way, he
चुप
likes
करना
Siddiqui.
होना 2 मिनट बस हो गया ना. Mentioning Sobo, GA, Lala Wirtz has got one more goal, and you're saying give him the Xabi to the team. Ek gal Avi Bhai Saab.
Love this, Joe. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, where were we going? You wanted to talk about Milos Kerkez? The floor's yours, Avi.
No, I think he's been brilliant. Yesterday, I thought that was his best 45 minutes. We saw him attacking that left channel. He took his players on, lovely 1-2s. Crossing was much better. He was getting it off the ground for once. A lot more to come, but very positive with Milos Kerkez. And it looks as though he's owning that left back position now. I thought it was a horrid decision by Slot taking him off. Maybe he had nothing in the tank, but when Robbo came on, he just stunk up the joint.
Robbo wasn't bad, yeah.
Oh, do you know that corner that he gave away, throwing he gave away towards the end?
Decent.
He wasted 2 minutes out of the 7, man, yesterday. Let's look at the game again.
No,
He's
to
nice.
be fair, look, I have to give Kirk's credit yesterday. I thought that was
Anji, kya kar sakte hain?
Kirk's best game. Yeah, it was that good that Slot took him off.
No, he takes him after 78. He doesn't either. That's normal. He should have. I thought that was a stinker of a decision to bring him off.
It was. I gave. If you watched the show yesterday, I gave Slot shit for that. Why?
I tell you what I did like about Slot though. I thought Rio. I thought that was good. The timing of that substitution was good. Gave him a lot more minutes to get settled in the game. I thought he was a breath of fresh air yesterday. He was different to what how I was a little bit worried the other day. What I wanted to see in Rio, he showed me in yesterday's game. The little snippets I liked. of Rio yesterday.
TK.
Chin, you seem as if you're a bit disillusioned with that Rio talk.
No, I'm happy he got minutes. What was gonna say? I thought he did all right. Tried to do everything he could. Obviously, didn't work out in the end. But Bechara, what can you expect from him?
Asim, is he in fear of doing that one trick step over one too many times? Will he iron that out? Hopefully you think he can iron that out of his game and give a different sort of variation. He does love that step over. I know he can get away from his marker very quickly, but he will need to vary it up as he runs through the ages once he gets to like 19, 20.
100%. But he needs football, Avi.
Yeah.
He needs football. He needs a settled environment so we can see different variations of his game as well. I don't just want to see him come on for the last 5, 10, 15 minutes where it has to be, Radi apart type of football. Do you understand? I want to see him at 0-0. I want him to see him on the halfway line where he's prevent his marker, he's up his ass, how he recycles play and how he circulates play as well, and then get in behind and then combine with Fourever, Wirtz and Kirkes as well. I want to see different components of his aspects of it to his game, but at the moment he comes on in a desperate situation. He needs a loan. He needs a loan. He needs football in his legs. Come and mature out, and then hopefully he improves the player. At the moment, it's neither here or there. It's neither here or there, and this is the reason why. Let's be honest. Some people said no, Gakpo and Rio as our wide options is enough because we've got Szoboszlai who can play there. We've got Florian Wirtz to play there as well, and we will keep on coming. We will keep on coming up against low blocks. And although Liverpool were decent, when you say Liverpool were decent, you also at the same time have to say Burnley are the worst team in the league. Who's bottom? Wolves or Burnley?
Wolves.
Okay, they were not far off. They are not far off. So Liverpool were decent and created chances, but also Burnley is shit. So we should in theory create more chances. But half of the shots, I think we had about 32 shots. Half of the shots were from 40 yards or whatever it was. So we were decent, but at the same time, Burnley was shit. But whenever we come up against these teams, and we will, is we have to have a guy who has got the ability to take a man on. And we are desperately, and it's not the first time we've all said it. And Kyle Walker, who's done, he was showing he was overcompensating on the inside because he knew Cody Gakpo. The whole world knows what Cody Gakpo is going to do because that is his only strength. It's a really good strength, but it's his only strength. And he was telling him, go down line. If you won, you've got the balls. And 1 and 2, if you've got the ability. And Cody Gakpo doesn't have either. And a washed Kyle Walker knew how to manage him. And it's sad for a Liverpool team that has the pride of wingers, the likes of Salah, the likes of Mane, the likes of Diaz as well. We're not asking for Mane and Salah. Those guys were generation talents. But we're asking for someone who has got the appetite to go and the ability to even try. And that's what Cody Gakpo doesn't. And it becomes it really. And the thing is, a lot of people saying he's a Europa League standard player, this and that. I think I'm of the opinion. I think Cody Gakpo is a Europa League standard. Europa League standard.
Yeah, saying that now, if he gets that winner in Budapest, but then this clip will be thinking.
I don't give a shit. That doesn't prove anything. Jimmy Traore has got a Champions League medal, but is he a Champions League level player? Don't judge a player like that. If they score a good winner in the Champions League final, does that make him Champions League quality? No. Biscan and
but Asim, he's still good to be a squad player, though. Asim.
Yes, I agree.
And look, if he had competition like a Diaz next to him, I think his numbers would be far better than they are. I'm saying that I think he still has the highest bloody. I know it doesn't mean for much. He's the highest number of goals and assists. Actually, I know. I think Ekitike has taken over that, but yeah.
The amount of attacks that get broken down.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of the deficiencies and the inability of Cody Gakpo are through the roof. Yeah, look, I've always said he's a good squad player because we need 6 attackers. He's good enough to be 5th and 6th choice. And maybe you can argue 4th choice as well. but you're top 3 for a Liverpool side going for the big prizes. They need to be elite because those guys are going to win you the league. Those guys are going to win you the Champions League. ठीक है. Okay, let's call it a wrap, man. It's already 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Any supers?
Sheen, koi hai super?
I think that there's a couple that came through.
Here we are. Bunty.
Very good question. Very good question.
So you want 2 starting midfielders in summer?
In an ideal world, I'd want 2 midfielders in the summer.
Which you refuse to
Starting,
mention.
we will definitely start one of the 2 if we got 2, but I think midfield will be a priority area.
Which you refuse to mention.
You said
For now.
Lamine Kamara. You didn't know. You said
I like Lamine. Yes, I think Lamine Kamara would
He
be
was
a
one that
brilliant
he
player.
said he really wanted.
He'd be a brilliant player. Yes.
He said,
Okay,
no,
you
I
can,
remember him saying
Asim, you could add a Lamine Kamara and a Wharton.
So they would be your starters for next season with Florian Wirtz,
I would have them starting the first game of the season.
Lamine Kamara and Adam Morton.
Yeah. And you know I like Buwadi as well.
I know that. That's he was next. I was going to mention him.
He's playing 40 midfield now.
No.
he's
I like
doing
Buwadi. I'm not saying we don't know if Wharton and Belabra are shoo-ins or if there's any interest there. Wharton, yes, we've seen links, but it'll be interesting to see who we address in the midfield area. Sorry, Ben.
Should we finish on that? Should we finish on that? Go round the room, 1 player in and 1 player out this summer. Who's your choice?
Okay.
But then if I say Salah out,
We've got an hour.
Whatever you want.
Give us a thingy. What do you call it? The
You
Paul.
can't say Kanate because he's on contract end because we know he's going to go anyway.
no,
Yeah,
it can
and
be
you
anyone.
can't
No,
say
Gene, you
Endo
can't.
either or
I
tomorrow.
will
Stop putting
go-
stipulations in now. It depends on who you want. Who
I
you want. It's
will
not Kanate contract.
go. I will
One in, one out.
go. McAllister out.
Boba.
Anderson in.
Can Anderson and
I'll go
Szoboszlai
next.
play
I'll
together,
go
Asim?
They're both not natural lone pivots, but I think they can.
Okay.
I think they can.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
want
ideal.
I want Gakpo gone.
No, it's Ben, man. Why are you so rude? Let Ben. Ben said he's next. He put his hand up as well, like a school kid. Ben, sorry.
I thought we're concentrating on midfield. That's why I went McAllister out. Thingy. But I'll stick,
Anyway,
I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that.
What you think is most likely to happen, or what you would most want to happen this summer?
Yeah.
Go on, Ben.
No, go on.
So
Sheen
Ben-
started, so he's going to finish. Man.
No, I want Gakpo gone. Barcola in.
Handshake, Bradley, huh? Coca-Cola, Chocola? Coca-Cola. Well done. Go on, Ben. 1 in, 1 out.
Ben, your choice.
Yeah,
It has to be a first team player, Ben.
it has to be a first team player. Yeah. I will say Mohamed Salah out. Michael Elise.
Boba.
I think Salah leaves anyway.
Yeah, so that's fair.
Yeah. Avi?
Look, it's going to be a sad day when Mohamed leaves this club. So Mohamed Salah out, Nico Williams in.
What's his GA, by the way, this season?
He just come back from injury. He just scored yesterday against Mallorca. Good finish, by the way, with his right foot. We know he can go right or left. It was a good finish. It was a good finish.
It was a good finish.
Yeah.
He was out for a couple of weeks, I think.
Not sure.
It's been a very indifferent season, granted. G. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, the poll. End the poll. The results are in.
Go on, Asim. An astounding 90%.
Does Dom start for Liverpool first game of the season? 92% said yes.
Wow. Brilliant. Love it.
164 votes.
So,
And look, guys, listen.
and there were a couple of them was Avi's burners, so really it's 96%.
I will eat humble pie first game of the season if Sobo wins. If I'm the victor of this poll, if I'm the victor and Szoboszlai is not there, I will think of a day for these 3 to do.
No,
A respectful day. A respectful day.
Chalo.
Okay, people, it was slightly different tonight.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Despite us being in the doldrums with Arnie Slaw and the inevitability that he might be out of a job, it's been all good. And just remember,
Today, but that's like the
I love the views. 600 in today, guys. Look, Class Clown was tuned today, and I'm sorry for that, but love you all. Make sure you liked and subscribed. I am in the country. I will be with these boys on Wednesday. Can't wait. Me and Asim are gonna hug in front of everyone. Pyare now, Rami now, pyar.
Let's just hope we don't lose on Wednesday. My word.
I'm not sitting next to Gene.
I'm taking a draw right now.
I'm sitting behind Asim.
Letting the fuckers ruin our meeting with Avi, man.
I'm sitting next to Asim. It has to be Asim, me, Ben, and Tina on the right. I don't want to sit next to Gene.
Why?
No. He's gonna look at me.
We are gonna absolutely batter them 1-0.
I'm telling you now, Ben. Amin Guri will score on Wednesday.
What's your prediction? Early prediction? What's your early prediction? What's your early prediction to
signing for Liverpool in 2 years?
Dua we win.
You know what? I think
I'm going 2-1 Marseille.
Winning, but I think I'm gonna go for I think I'm gonna go for the 2-2.
You know what? I think we need a special thumbnail for Wednesday. But
we do.
We need a special thumbnail.
It's the Forever Red thumbnail, isn't it? It's got to be.
I know.
Yeah.
For this is what Jay Slotty put. He goes, for me, it's Jones out, Pedri in. Yeah.
Just a quick question. Just on top of that, quickly go. Yes or no? Does Curtis Jones leave Liverpool this summer? Yes or no, Avi? Yes or no?
You guys know that I've vouched for this player from the academy. No, he stays.
Ben?
Yes.
Fucking hell, who's leaving for you, Ben? McAllister's leaving.
Konate.
Endo's leaving.
Salah's leaving for him.
Gene, is Curtis Jones leaving in the summer?
Huge summer. If anything, this summer is probably even bigger than last summer.
Yeah, that's a top shout, Ben. Very good shout.
If Curtis Jones goes, bro, we need to spend 500 million.
I think we're spending another
400 million. The mug for the game.
450.
I mean, you're going to pull out a check from Mother Hubbard's to give you an extra 100 million.
I mean, net in it, meaning he's going to sell a few, aren't we? So we're going to have to spend at least 455. We're going to have to spend 500 million. Salah goes, that's £100 million replacement. Yeah, left winger, that's a replacement. You want fucking 2 centre backs minimum you need. Then you're getting rid of 2 midfielders, Jones and McAllister, 2 bloody midfielders. That's 6-7 players you're going to need to buy, bro. You think it's going to cost you 300 million? Huh?
Gakpo possibly as well.
This is what I'm saying. So you're going to have to sell these players.
Sorry, Start
on a light, just before we finish, on a light note, Liverpool's under 21s battered Arsenal 7-0, by the way. Good performances. Kieran Morrison, my brother. Hat-trick, yeah. Your brother, Kieran.
My brother, mate. My brother, get it right.
It's good.
Nobody on BNR. No one on BNR are booking holidays this summer. I tell you that for nothing, because this channel is going to be absolutely bouncing this summer with the transfers.
Ben, just fucking get him right and go and win a title. Don't fucking make all them signings that fucking sat in 6th. Yeah. Do something about it. We need to look. We have to
BNR will be in Budapest.
The biggest position that will need replacing in the summer, centre back.
If he doesn't say midfielder now, I'm going to flip.
The biggest replacement will be replacing the king, and that will not be easy for this football club. We may even get it wrong first time round. Just saying.
Well, I don't think I think we've already replaced him. That's the thing.
With the Isak, Ekitike, and Wirtz.
So it's like people are going to think, whoever plays right wing has got to replace Salah, but he won't. He might just be a functional right winger who does a really good job. But the focus will shift to Wirtz and to Isak. That's the theory I would think would be the case.
We need someone from the outlet to give us a 30 GA season in the league only. I get what you mean, functional winger, but we need someone elite. And even then, the pressures of knowing that you're pretty much Salah's replacement, there's the subconscious thinking in someone's footballer's brain. It will be hard. It will be very, very hard.
By the way, are we getting top 4?
Yes. Aston Villa, United, and Chelsea are shit.
We made a point on City and Villa, boys. So yeah, we will. We're only 5 away from them.
Right, so Avi says
we'll
yes.
get top 4.
Ben says yes. Asim?
Will we get top 4? Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking? This season, yeah.
Chine?
No.
Okay. Right.
But
Spend
no,
500 million.
No, I said no.
Are you ever positive? Have you ever been positive in the last 8 weeks? In the last 8 weeks, have you been positive?
No, I've not, because it's been shit
Oh,
football.
yeah, you
Nothing
stick to your
be positive
toxicity.
about.
You
Nothing
stick to the
be positive
toxicity,
about, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing to be. Yeah, you just keep,
Actually, no. You were positive against
Cameron.
Emirates. You were positive against Arsenal.
Just
Away
keep-
to
just
Emirates,
keep-
you were very
Team
positive.
You just
Team
keep feeding
leading
us
is coming.
bullshit. Keep feeding us bullshit. Every week,
Team
like
leading
you.
to get
This
top
player's
4.
coming, that player's coming. That'll keep us all fucking entertained with your bullshit.
I had a bomber, but I'll save that now.
Don't give them. No, we don't want to hear no bombers, because they're not. No, get it right. Say, can I lie? Next time.
Can we have a piss bomber?
Can I lie?
We've had sober bombers. Can we have a piss bomber?
Asim,
I
you
wanna-
know that.
I want to know. I want to see. I
Asim,
want
you
to see
know-
how a piss bomber sounds.
Asim, you know, I'll never have a drink on the channel.
He's joking.
Prior or during?
I'm only
No, you've
joking.
never.
No,
I
it's
know
not
that.
funny.
You know?
It's not funny. Although I might have to bring a bottle with me undercover on the Wednesday.
Go on, you know what? If you have
Okay,
got
people,
No,
that's
no
called it a
worries.
night, man. Smash a like on the way and let us know what you thought about the show. It was proper radio part, tabla show, as Avi says. But please, it's content for you. And we'll be back tomorrow and previewing the Marseille game on Tuesday. We'll pick the team on Tuesday night. And then for the big one, Avi, Ben, me, and Sheen. And I think Junior might be joining us as well for the big watch along on Wednesday night. So make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, according to Sheen, we're spending 500 million this summer. We're playing Europa League football next season. Have a good one. Take care, and we catch you tomorrow. Bye.
I thought it was a good show today.
It was a good show.